Ezra didn't say anything. He looked up at the sky, clear, blue, and vast. Somewhere up there, beyond sight, was the moon. And somewhere on that moon, a colony was growing, quietly, patiently, like a seed breaking open in stone. Could be something else, Micah offered. Festival season's starting soon. Maybe a joint celebration? There was a talk about the Avaya district inviting everyone to their founding day, Rachel said. They have dancers and those lanterns that float on the lake. Or maybe a wedding, Naomi said, glancing at Jonah and raising her eyebrows. Anyone you know ready to settle down? Jonah nearly choked. Nope, not me. I'm staying with Nana forever. You say that now, Micah teased. They turned another bend, passing a fenced orchard with young almond trees. Someone had painted the trunks white and hung little prayer ribbons from the lower branches, notes of thanks, wishes for healing, blessings for the harvest. Could be a cleanup day, Eve sighed. Last time they painted every fence from here to the green hills. I still have white on my boots, Rachel said. They rode a while in silence after that, the quiet filled with bird song and the occasional bark of a dog in the distance. The hills ahead lifted gently, golden in the waning light. Near the top, the outline of a house emerged. Broad porch, wind chimes stirring, smoke curling up from a stovepipe. Nana's, Jonah said, standing on his pedals. They followed him up in the last incline, the tires crunching gravel, the scent of fried fish warming the air again. Whatever the announcement was, they'd know soon. But for now, there was Nana and the joy of arriving. Chapter 5. The Old House on the Hill. The front yard of Jonah's house came into view like a painting brushed to life. The home itself sat proudly on the gentle crest of the hill, its walls a soft clay color streaked with sunlight, the wood trim around the windows carefully carved with floral patterns and stars. The porch stretched the full width of the house, wrapped in wide railings worn smooth by time and generations of elbows. Wind chimes tinkled softly in the breeze, and just behind them, a pair of wooden rocking chairs creaked with no one in them. A basket of yarn sat on one, a half-knit blanket still attached. Lavender grew wild near the steps, and chickens clucked their way through a small picket gate to the side, pecking between stones. There were rabbits, too, not the kind for show, but sleek, practical ones. They darted beneath a berry bush, and then froze at the sound of bikes approaching before hopping off again. Jonah slowed and called, "Home!" The house didn't answer. It didn't need to. Its presence alone welcomed them. To the left, a small guest house sat beneath an old sycamore tree, whitewashed and trimmed in faded green. Its shutters were open, catching the crosswind. We haven't had a farmhand in a while, Jonah said, nodding toward it. The machines handle most of the tilling, and I've got the animals. Guest house is open, though, if anyone ever needs a bed. Looks like a painting, Naomi said. Your grandfather did that trim, didn't he? Rachel asked, pointing at the carved stars. Jonah nodded. And my great-grandmother designed the porch planters. Every generation's added something. Nana says the house remembers. Micah kicked out his kickstand and gave the house a long look. She's not wrong. Ezra ran his fingers along one of the fence posts. My great-grandfather told me once that your great-great-grandfather helped him raise our barn. Said he didn't stop swinging the hammer until the roof was sealed. Jonah smiled. That sounds about right. They dismounted, walked their bikes to the side, leaning them carefully against the porch rail. Ezra knelt briefly to tighten a strap on his bag, while Eve tossed a few seeds into the chicken yard, watching them chase each other like toddlers. The yard was dotted with little signs of life: a stack of firewood neatly bundled, a bucket of dried flowers hanging from a nail, a weathered quilt airing out on a line. There was a quiet heaviness to the place, not sorrowful, but rooted. Every plank, every stone, every nick in the railing told a story. Jonah stepped up and opened the screen door. "Nana, we brought fish." The scent of warm spice and cedar drifted from inside. He held the door and motioned them in. "Come on, she'll be glad to see you." They stepped into the heart of the house. The porch creaked as they stepped up, the chimes swaying with a soft song as Jonah opened the door. Inside was a wide, Arctic-style entryway, unusual in a southern climate but smart for a large household. The space was clean, tiled, and cool, lined on both sides with neat rows of benches and storage cubbies. Hooks and shelves framed the walls, room enough for 20 guests to leave their shoes, coats, hats, and bags. The group peeled off dusty boots, shrugged out of light jackets. Micah nudged a sun hat into his cubby and grinned. "Your Nana really expects visitors." Jonah laughed. "She says a house should always be ready for company." A thick wooden door stood opposite the entryway. Jonah turned the brass knob and pushed it open. Immediately, the home opened into a split-level design, a short stairway going down into a softly lit hallway, and a wider staircase climbing upward into a warm light and light. They took the stairs up. The main living area was sprawling, high-ceilinged and filled with golden light of afternoon. Long windows faced the western hills, and the entire space was lined with seating. Not rows of chairs, but an invitation of couches, divans, love seats, and low benches, all arranged in conversational clusters. The fabrics were patterned and worn, but clean and cared for, stitched and restitched over time. Jonah swept his arm out. "This is the sitting hall. My family's been collecting and building these pieces for generations." Ezra stepped closer to a carved love seat with a wildflowered pattern. "This one looks like the one in our reading room." "It is," Jonah said. "Your great-grandfather made that pattern. My family stitched the first cushions for him. This one came later." Rachel leaned over a throw pillow made of soft linen, the seams embroidered in spirals. "These look homemade." "They are," Jonah said. "Every piece has a story. Nana says if a couch gets old, it gets patched, not pitched. The more love it holds, the more you keep it." Eve wandered to the wall where panels of old upholstery scraps had been arranged into mosaics, stitched into family crests, landscapes, constellations. Beneath each was a name, a year, and a short inscription. Micah read one aloud. "Elia Moon rode the first test rocket. Seat tore on landing. This was his coat pocket." Naomi smiled. "Your family doesn't just keep things, you honor them." At the far end, an open arch led into a massive kitchen. Stone countertops, long wooden tables, copper pots hanging above the island. The air was thick with cinnamon, butter, and baking apples. And there stood Nana. She was small, round-shouldered, with soft gray curls pinned up beneath a simple cloth cap. Her dress was floral and well-loved, her apron dusted with flour. Her hands never stopped moving, rolling dough, stirring glaze, adjusting trays in the oven. But the moment she saw them, her face lit up like sunrise. "Well, look what the wind blew in." They rushed to greet her, Jonah first. She reached up, cupped his face, and planted a kiss right on his lips. "Still my boy," she said. Then she turned to the others. And look at all of you, tall and beautiful. Come here, come here. She wrapped each of them in warm hugs, the kind that made you forget anything outside the house even existed. Shoes off? She asked. All off, Nana, Jonah assured her. Good. Dirt has its place, and it's not in my kitchen. She bustled over to the oven and pulled out 3 trays, the scent bursting through the air like joy. Chaussons aux pommes et peaches, she announced, setting them down with practiced ease. The pastries were golden, glistening with syrup, and still steaming. You baked for an army, Micah said, wide-eyed. No, dear, she said, passing him a plate. I baked for you. Now, eat. They laughed, the kitchen filling with warmth as much as it was with scent. Nana moved like a woman half her age, gracefully efficient, smiling with every step. These recipes, she said, gesturing to the trays, came from your great-aunt Meline. She taught me to make these the year your Uncle Bennet fell off the roof and broke his leg. Said they were good for healing. She pointed at the wall. That spoon hanging there? Your cousin Eliza carved it when she was 12. The oil lamp above the sink? Brought down from the original Griffin estate before the second swarm. Ezra turned slowly, taking in the room, the stories, the layers of life, stacked gently in this place. It felt like walking through the inside of a prayer.